Guys, in today's video we'll be discussing about Manali in the month of March 2025, what you should be expecting in terms of weather, road condition, the places that you should be visiting, and overall what is the kind of budget and the things that you need to be packing for your trip to Manali. Now keep in mind the month of March is when the weather in Manali is still winterish, that is the daytime temperature will be anywhere between 10 to 15 degrees, while the temperature at night can drop to as low as even minus 2 or 3 degrees depending on where you are. It can snow even in the latter half of March. So when you're planning on traveling to Manali in the month of March, make sure that you're carrying a good amount of winter wear along with you. Along with your winter wear, you definitely need to be having an umbrella, because when it snows or rains in Manali in the month of March, you will need an umbrella. This rain can go on from anywhere between 5 minutes to even a few hours, because if it's not snowing and the weather goes bad, it is definitely going to start raining and it's going to make it very uncomfortable for you to be traveling around Manali without an umbrella. Now keep in mind that if you do not have good woolen wear for the winters, you can always buy your woolen wear in Manali. There are plenty of markets in and around Manali, be it in Old Manali, New Manali, or even in places like Simsa and all. You will find shops selling winter wear. So do not worry, you can always pick up your winter clothing in Manali, but just make sure that you have some kind of winter wear to reach Manali. Even a light sweatshirt will do. Now, when it comes to the places that you should be visiting in Manali, keep in mind that everything in the month of March is accessible. You can easily reach Old Manali from New Manali. The snow has pretty much melted off. If there is snow, keep in mind that you need a good pair of shoes with a good grip to be walking around it. You can definitely visit Sissu, and even a bit of Rohtang Pass will be possible in the month of March. Going to Spiti via the Manali route is not going to be possible in the month of March, so that is something that you cannot cover in the month of March, but you can definitely go all the way up till Baralacha, which is in Lahore. But beyond that, it is not going to be possible because the snow cover is going to be too much for you to get past. Now keep in mind that when you're planning your trip in the month of March, it is important to understand that March is pretty much off season in Manali, barring the weekends and the long weekend with Holi. So if you go any other time in the month of March, you'll get a very good deal on accommodation and even on transportation. When you're planning a trip to Manali in March, and if you're going as a solo traveler, a budget of, I would say, 15,000 is more than enough for a week, provided you're ready to rough it out by staying in budget accommodation and walk to most places which are around Manali. Going to Sissu, you can always take the bus, the HRTC bus, which goes to Keelong, and get off at Sissu if you're interested in visiting Sissu. But other than this, getting around Manali is not at all a problem, because everything is mostly within walking distance. You can go to Vashist walking, or you can even take the local bus which goes to Vashist from New Manali. When you're traveling in the month of March, my personal recommendation is stay very close to Mall Road, either Old Manali or close to Mall Road in the hotels close by, because it's really affordable. And why stay far away when you can actually stay in the epicenter of where all the tourist activities are? Don't expect too much in terms of any kind of nightlife in the month of March. Restaurants and cafes will be open all over, but there's not going to be any kind of parties or anything happening that's going to attract you for the month of March. Just the fact that if you are interested in having a nature time, then March is the best time to be going there. When I say nature time, I mean spending time with nature and without too much of crowd, because it's completely off season. There is nobody going to be there. And if you're someone who likes culture and wants to experience Holi, then go during the Holi festival time, because you'll get to experience a very unique way of how Holi is celebrated and played in the Himalayas. Just make sure that you carry a set of clothes which are ready to get colored and left behind, because if you're carrying new clothes, you're never going to be returning back with them, because it's going to be full of color, and that's something that you will not like. Now when it comes to the duration of your travel, I would personally recommend that you travel for a minimum of at least 5 to 7 days, because 2 days are going to go and travel from either Delhi or Chandigarh. It's an overnight journey. So keep in mind that if you travel for 5 days, you'll be spending 2 days in the bus and 3 days in hand at in Manali. So that's ideally plan a 7-day trip, so you can club in Kasol and maybe even Tosh along with your journey in Manali. Sissu is definitely a must visit place when you're in Manali. The place has plenty to offer, and it's overall a very good adventure spot for people who are looking to experience all of Himachal in a bundle, because you'll get to go ziplining. You'll even get to experience the food court which is there in Sisu, which has plenty to offer in terms of momos and rajma chawal and all other kinds of street food and snacks. Just keep in mind that when you're traveling to Sisu, you might need to hire a private vehicle if you cannot figure out the bus. And the private vehicle, the cheapest for a solo traveler is an Alto. But if you can find other solo travelers, you can club in and maybe share the expense of going to Sisu and coming back. You do not need to be staying there. You can do a day trip in and out. Other than this, Manali in the month of March is a very, very good time to be going there, because, like I mentioned earlier, everything is really affordable and there's not a lot of crowd. So nobody's going to try to scam you or charge you double of what the cost is going to be. You can easily get a self-contained room in Manali, in, I would say, old and new Manali, for anywhere between 600 to 800, depending on how long you stay. The longer you stay, the cheaper the cost would be. Now, when it comes to the gear that you need to be carrying, my personal recommendation is carry good amount of woolens. Do not even consider going there without a jacket, because it can get so cold in the nights that you will struggle to sleep at night. Finding a hotel which has a heater is like a bonus, but just make sure they do not charge you extra for the heater, because if they are charging you extra for a heater, it's not worth it. A sleeping bag is something that if you have it, carry it. If you do not have it, it's okay for the month of March, provided your threshold for cold is good. When it comes to the restaurants and cafes, everything is open, so you do not need to be worrying about food. The dhabas and even the cafes, the hippie cafes in Old Manali will be open, so you can go around, chill around over there and make merry. Just be wary about the fact that the weather can turn bad anytime, and for that you definitely need to be having a good pair of shoes, because if you're going to go to places which are covered in snow, you cannot navigate through snow with a pair of sneakers, because you will slip and slide. So to avoid that, my recommendation is have a good pair of hiking boots, because they will be the best for your trip. If you're planning on clubbing in Kasol in your March trip, you can take a bus from Manali to Kasol. There are plenty of buses going from New Manali bus stand to Kasol. It's just that on the bus, you will see them written as Manikaran or Barsheni. You can also ask people over at the bus stop, and they'll guide you to the next frequent bus which is going to Kasol. The journey will take roughly anywhere between, I would say, 4 to 5 hours, depending on how many stops they make and how long they stop at Kullu and in Buntar. Manali in March is the best time to be going there before the summer starts. It's the fag end of winter and pretty much the start of winter. So for someone who wants to experience the chill of winter but not find it too cold and wants to avoid the crowd that will come in summer, then March is the go-to time for you. If you're planning on going with your group, it's a very, very good time to be going there. You can definitely go whitewater rafting and maybe zip lining. Paragliding is something you definitely need to check the weather and be assured of the organization that you're going with, because there have been quite a few calamities that have happened with a lot of casualties rather which have happened with paragliding in the last couple of months. Now, if you're someone who's planning a trip to Manali, we have a couple of trips which are happening to Manali in the month of March. You can click on the link in the description and you can book the trip from our website, or you can WhatsApp us if you have queries related to your trip. If you have any queries other than what we have on our trip and you want to get information about Manali, do not WhatsApp us. Just leave a comment in the comment section and we'll be more than happy to help. Our WhatsApp option from our website is only for people who are interested in our backpacking and Himachal road trips. It is not to answer your queries related to your personal trip to Manali. For that, you can just leave a comment and we'll be more than happy to guide you through the process of whatever we can through WhatsApp, not WhatsApp, through YouTube comments. So do not WhatsApp us unless you are interested in booking a trip with us. Till our next video about Manali, stay safe, stay happy and stay blessed.